overcome. Some we shall overcome. Lift it up, everybody. Come on, pull it together. Everybody, keep coming closer. Come on, keep coming closer. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. Come on, everybody. Walk hand in hand. Come on, everybody. Walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome some. We made it to our first of 2 landing points. Let's give ourselves a hand. We made it here safely. We made it here as a community. Thank you to all of our security and all of those who are guiding us and all of those who are covering us, and thank you to the medics and just the beloved community. Come on, I need some energy right now. I need some energy. Do you know what you're standing in front of? I need some energy. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Change. And when do we want it? I want to call the beloved community ahead of some of our planned remarks. Some of you all have asked to speak, and I've asked others of you all to speak. We want to give you 1 to 2 minutes because there's going to be so many. So we want to put everybody on some sort of a timer from the community other than our planned remarks. And as they come, listen, when something resonates with you, I need you to make a noise, make some noise. I need people that have come to use their voices for change this afternoon, and I need you to support everybody that is coming to speak out and speak forth. Is that all right? We want to encourage everybody. Now, y'all know why we're here. This is where many lives have changed for the worse in Alamance County. This is where innocent people have been convicted. On all sides of us, these institutions, innocent folks are locked up. When we get to the corner, we're going to lift up a chant for those who are in jail today. Because some of them should not be there. Some of them are there not because they are menaces to society, but because they can't afford the bail to be out here with us today. Some of them are in there because they can't afford the lawyers to plead their innocence or plead their cases so that they could be out here with us today. Folks have been processed through this courthouse, which is supposed to be a hall of justice, but in many cases, in a disproportionate number of cases towards black and brown people, it is a hall of injustice. That is why we are stopping by here right now, so that we can speak to this system of injustice right here in Alamance County and the systems that look just like this all over America and North Carolina. All right, Catherine Netter, will you come and share your remarks? And others, members of the community, we invite you to come forth. Let's give Catherine Jo Netter a hand right now.
You know, often the question is asked, Where in God's name are the black officers? Not those in black skin, not Ben Carson's, not Clarence Thomas's, but black people. Where are the black officers? Well, I'm here to tell you, we are here. However, when we stand up against racism and injustice, we get pushed out. I filed a racial discrimination complaint against B.J. Barnes in Guilford County, who is Terry Johnson's best friend. And I got pushed out, but I came back with a black man that I thought would make change. But he's intimidated by the culture. And until the culture at these agencies change, it will not matter if the face changes. So we've got to speak up and we've got to speak out. The word says, blessed are the peacekeepers, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God. As officers, we are supposed to be peacekeepers, not riot ragers. If you see something, you step in, you ask questions. You do not engage, push on crowds, advance on crowds. There is no law enforcement training that teaches officers to do what you saw demonstrated on Halloween. How symbolic is that? Acting like devils. That is not what we've been put in uniform to do. So I am here to tell you that I am seriously considering running for sheriff in Guilford County because I am tired of begging people to police the right way. These officers suited up in riot gear is wasting the taxpayers' dollars of Alamance County right now. Surely there's something going on in the community other than a peaceful protest that you should be addressing and patrolling. Do you know the people in your patrol zones? Have you talked to them? Or do you just show up for a hot dog on National Night Out? It is time for community policing where we are the peacekeepers. We are not there just to make arrests, but we are there to keep the peace. And that wasn't done. So I just want to say to you, black officers are present, we are there, but we get pushed out. But guess what? We may get pushed out, but we're not going to give up. And I'm worried. Last we always say, my grandfather used to say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Well, I didn't like that when he said it because usually we had messed up some chores. But my grandmother said, by and by. And I understand it better by and by. So guess what? I am going to do it myself because I'm tired of begging others to do it the right way. Thank you.
Sheriff in Alamance County. We need a new sheriff in Alamance County. We need a sheriff that's going to bring change in Alamance County. I love y'all. I stand here today as a mother, as a sister, as a comrade, as a community leader, as a community spokesperson, as somebody who is here to speak up on the behalf of everybody who is tired. Yes. They print all these advisories of to come with no destruction. We always come in peace. Because we never came in peace. We come unarmed. Every single time. No looting, no destruction. Never. You are destructing our souls. The looting is in our tears. That's right. The fire is in our feet. We will not be shut down by your intimidation. We will not be shut down by your false charges. We will continue to show up. We will continue to speak out. We will continue to call it out. We are tired, but we are not through. We will not be through until we see change. And even then, we will keep fighting to account and keep everyone accountable for their offices that they hold. I urge you, even though the word has been spread across the nation, I urge you to keep talking. Yes. Keep bringing light to what's going on in the world. When they don't want to hear you, talk to somebody who will. Don't shut up. Don't be quiet. Let them know what is going on in Alamance County. Let them know we will not stop. We come as a unit. All races, all backgrounds, one heart.
Keep saying it.
We will stay as one heart. We will hold you accountable. We are going anywhere. Alamance County, what do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Change.
When do we want it?
Now.
Who's next? Just want to make sure that if there's any other members of the community. All right. At this time, we're going to ask Reverend Dr. T. Anthony Spearman to come forth and give us some remarks. This is, I give you the state president of the NAACP, Dr. T. Anthony Spearman.
Good afternoon, everybody. And let me say that you all really don't know how good you look to me this afternoon. But one thing that I do want to say and remind us of is that the real measure of success for this gathering is going to show up a few days from now. The reason I say that is to remind us to adhere to social distancing mandates. We do not want this to become a super spreader like number 45's events become every time they meet. We are more precious to one another than that. I want to first of all, say to you that I am the president of the North Carolina NAACP, which represents more than 65 adult branches across the length and breadth of the North Carolina State Conference and about 25 youth and college division chapters. When translated out, that means that we service about 20,000 members across the state of North Carolina. And those 20,000 members are standing here with us today. My brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, nephews and nieces, cousins and friends, we come together this afternoon to gain justice for the next generation. We don't fight for ourselves. We fight for our children, our grandchildren, our nephews, and our nieces. The NAACP was formed in 1909 on the 100th anniversary of the President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The great emancipator, as he is sometimes called, was assassinated at age 55 on a balcony after he had mobilized an army, white and black, to smash the sin-filled system of slavery. Dr. King was born 20 years after the NAACP was formed in 1929. He too was assassinated on a balcony way before his time. He was 39 years old. Dr. King would have celebrated his 92nd birthday on January 15, 2021. That's 5 days. I repeat, 5 days before President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, who looks like so many of you, ignite the torch of truth and justice on Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. This thing is giving me a little trouble. In 1954, the NAACP legal team put a legal stake in the heart of the sin-filled system of Jim Crow, which Southern slavers and their grandchildren had invented to keep people of color in our places. 9 old white men ruled that any legal wedges between people of color were unconstitutional because any separation based on race deprived Americans of the equal protection of the laws. A year later, the Montgomery, Alabama NAACP and her secretary, Ms. Rosa Parks, decided that she should test whether Jim Crow was dead in Alabama. And with the recently brutalized Emmett Till on her mind, she intentionally committed civil disobedience on a bus and was charged with a misdemeanor. And she, a 27-year-old minister, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the primarily black bus riders of Montgomery, walked and organized carpools for a year. And a year later, Jim Crow buses were banned in Alabama and soon in the entire South. The NAACP and a new generation of Southern leaders learned the importance of giving space, place, and support to the new generation, particularly when they are prepared to step into the strange circumstances like the ones we face today. A deadly pandemic, an open, racist, incompetent president, and a 60-year coordinated effort by the Tea Party and others to suppress the votes of an increasingly progressive and younger electorate who are innately more understanding of the devastation of the history that I just touched upon on colored people. Thank you for listening to this history, for it is long, but it is applicable to the movement here today. Against the policies and mendacity of the Alamance County Sheriff, Terry Johnson, who quite frankly conducts himself and the sheriff's office just as if he were a grand supporter of Jim Crow or himself a member of the white supremacist Tea Party. It is in his nature to foster a culture of bias, which undermines the Alamance County Sheriff's Office from serving and protecting the African American community. So we, the North Carolina NAACP, has come to join in the fight for justice for the next generation. Like the Montgomery NAACP behind Rosa Parks, we know that near pulpit preaching has its limitations. Like the young Jesus of Justice standing before Pilate in the courthouse square, some of us know we can preach more passionately, teach more effectively, and reach more young people in our courthouse squares. Rosa Parks was charged with a misdemeanor for her disobeying the unjust Jim Crow law. I, along with 1,000 others, were charged with trespassing in the people's house. The Alamance District Attorney had the gall, the unmitigated gall, to charge my friend Gregory Drumwright with 2 felonies. For what? For telling the truth in the courthouse square and for standing tall on behalf of the leaders of the next generation. Reverend Drumwright, to you I say, stand tall. And Greg, I just want you to know that we've got your back. Stand tall and rest assured that in the service of justice, the spirit of unflinching courage will shine far brighter than brute force and power ever will. The more they trample on your rights, the more they endanger their own. Stand firm and fight on anyhow. Keep your hand on the gospel plow. Harder yet may be the fight. Right may often yield to might. Wickedness a while may reign. Satan's cause may seem to gain. But there's a God. I said there's a God that rules above with hand of power and heart of love. And if we're right, I said if we're right, and I know that we're right, that God will fight our battles. I said that God will fight our battles. And we will. Yes, we will. Have peace someday. The people united can never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. You say the people will never. You say the people will never. Come on, the people united will never be defeated. One more time.
United will never be defeated.
Let's hear it for Reverend Dr. T. Anthony Spearman. Thank you, Dr. Spearman. Thank you, NAACP State President, and all of those who are standing with us. I want to give you Sister Quincy Ellison, where you at, Queen? Okay. Okay, she's on the way back. Bless you, Brother Adon.
Hey, get out of the street, Melissa.
Glad to see you. Listen. And we also have is Byron here.
Hey, officer.
Byron is preparing some remarks. Where are you, brother? We want to see you. We're not going to be distracted by interruption, you all. We're not going to be distracted by interruption. It's one person. It's all that attention. We don't need all that attention for just one person. The people united will never. I said the people. I said the people. One more time, the people.
He really brought it in people down the street. That's what he is. People feel unsafe. You can do your job for it. Absolutely. Because people do not feel safe with the white supremacists in the midst.
Yeah,
You guys are doing a wonderful job if you ask them to leave.
understand why antagonizing and everything like that could be an issue.
I just want to say
You are
that
antagonizing. You told us you're a known white supremacist.
the trust has eroded
Please don't make us have to get out
with the law enforcement community.
with you again.
We are here
What I'm
calling
saying is
for
this is
police
time one.
reform, not just
Okay.
sheriff
We don't
reform.
want any issues.
We are here calling for ground police department reform as well.
Do you not see? There's obviously.
We need to be clear about the one-sided back door closed to the general public meetings can no longer support the agendas of the ground police department and the Alamance County Sheriff's Department. People for change, now they want to meet with us. Revolutionary Love, now they want to meet with us. Mass Alliance for Justice, now they want to say something to us. Only after they use chemical weapons and excessive force against us do they now want to meet with us.
Make you feel uncomfortable.
Only after suppressing peaceful protests all summer long do they have something to say about us now. Do you all understand the record? Only after slapping criminal charges on demonstrators and supporters of our movement all summer long do they now want to meet with our clergy? Do they now want to meet with our community? Do they now want to help us organize for reform? It's too late for that. And let me be clear, they don't want to meet with all of us. Alamance Alliance for Justice, have they asked to meet with you all? They don't want to meet with all of us. Only a select few of us. I sent a letter, Terry Johnson, on October 9th, inviting you to a meeting. I sent a letter inviting you and your department to co-organize with us for for the 31st. Terry Johnson, why did that letter go unanswered? In my October 26th letter to Chief Christy Cole, I reminded her after several rounds of meetings and communications that the niceties and the pleasantries that we exchange have unfortunately not kept back black people from being targeted, mistreated, brutalized, racially oppressed, falsely arrested, charged, imprisoned, shot, and killed by law enforcement. We need to agree on the truth before we can have another meeting. Can I say that one more time? And I want to help all of those who are meeting with our oppressors to understand this tenet. We need to agree on the truth before we can establish another single-sided meeting with the law enforcement community that we need to be reformed. A monument of a Confederate soldier still stands in the place where a black man, a black public official in 1870, the Honorable Wyatt Outlaw, put some respect on his name, was marched down North Main Street and hung to his death. There is also a historic marker on Main Street that uplifts Confederate war generals that killed him. But there is still no mention of his name or his unjust death in this community. Down at this courthouse square, the people of Alamance County and organizations standing with the residents, such as our own, have decided to use our First Amendment rights to speak out and organize against these truths. We will not be distracted by interruption. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Never be defeated. Never be defeated. We'll never be defeated. We'll never be defeated.
We are here activating against racist news. A racist news source that has cooperated against the Hispanic and the black community for too long in Alamance County. It's time for them to go. United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never. Why? Why did the Alamance News report on 3 minutes of my 20-minute speech last week? What was the purpose of the Alamance News running pictures of my house in their newspaper? What does that have to do with Black Lives Mattering? Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Why would the Alamance County Sheriff's Office post a redacted 3 minutes of my 20-minute speech last week, where I shared with our justice community in solidarity that we do have options? It's either a riot or a march. And because we always come in peace and love, we will never be the cause of a riot. We will always be the cause of a peaceful protest. Why? How is it that a public entity like the sheriff's office would seek to divide the public against peaceful organizers? We need to have a conversation with the Federal Department of Justice. Thank you. We need to have a conversation with the Attorney General. We need to discuss why the Graham Police Department and the Alamance County Sheriff's Department is harming our people. We need to discuss why we had to sue the city of Graham over executive orders that limited assemblies after a series of protests near the Confederate statue earlier this summer. We need to talk about that. There are people out here who still have to go to court because their First Amendment right to protest was violated earlier this summer. We need to discuss why the black population in Alamance County is representative of 19%, yet blacks right here in Alamance County make up nearly 40% of the arrests. We need to ask Alamance News why they won't run that story. We need to ask Terry Johnson why he won't comment on that data. Across North Carolina, there are no proportionate numbers anywhere. On average, blacks make up 2.5 times the arrests. And in Alamance County, the disparities are even greater. Do you know why we're out here? What do we want? And when do we want it? What do we want? And when do we want it? Alamance County Sheriff's Office uses jail booking and detention practices, including practices relative to immigration status checks that discriminate Latinos. The sheriff and the Alamance County Sheriff's Office leadership explicitly instructs deputies to target Latinos with discriminatory traffic stops and other enforcement activities. The sheriff and the Alamance County leadership foster a culture of bias by using anti-Latino epithets. They engage in substandard reporting and monitoring practices that mask its discriminatory conduct, and that's why we're out here, because we're calling for that sheriff to step down. The meetings are over. We want a new sheriff in Alamance County.
Take your time. Take your time.
Sit down, yeah. If we don't do it right.
Amen.
We're going to stay focused. We've come this far.
And all those deleted messages. You like to delete stuff off of your Facebook, don't you? Only leave what's convenient.
Assistant Attorney
All the
General
racist
for
crap.
the Civil Rights Division found, and I quote, for everyone who is wondering why we're here, and for the very small minutia of people who are sending hate mail to me, saying that we have created the problem, I want to help you to understand the facts.
Black lives matter, dude.
Time is up. You've shown your
Thomas
presence.
Perez, former Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division of the federal government, wrote after an investigation of Sheriff Terry Johnson right here in Alamance County. The Alamance County Sheriff's Office egregiously violates the Constitution and federal laws and creates distrust between the police and the community and inhabits the reporting of crime and cooperation and criminal.
Let's go home. Let's go home. We don't like racism. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice.
I want to say to the beloved community,
What is your learner doing here?
please don't let us be divided.
All you do is lie. You dusty and old. Just go home.
There may
Not
be
motherfucking
small
welcome.
differences,
You need to get out of here.
but we must stick together. We need to stick together like we're sticking together right now. To keep hate out of our circle. To keep cowards out of our business. To keep the beloved community standing tall together. If you are going to put somebody in another community meeting, at least have enough decency to identify yourself. I am so grateful for all of the organizers, even if you're not out here with us today.
What, I heard people call him Tom. What? Yeah, right for a.
This is how
We'll get even further than this by togetherness.
doing out here for change. He's never here. He just takes whatever his rights or whatever he wants to say, and he's getting funny about white supremacy to show their narrative. Huh?
Is it a right-wing outlet or is it just his?
Basically, yes.
People who think they were only activists, that's not true.
Like he got the shots and stuff from the
I was
cameras
appointed
up there, like
in 2018
they gave it to him so he could create his
to
narrative
sit
of
upon the
like
state
we out here doing
court's
unnecessary stuff.
commission
These people feel
by
this
the
way.
governor of North Carolina,
Yeah, he's like look at these people.
who awarded me the Old
there's no
North
reason
State
to be
Award for more than 20 years of public service. Justice, reform, don't put us in the box. We're activists and we're advocates. What do we want? And when do we want it? What do we want? And when do we want it? If businesses are not supporting the black community, we need to shut them down. Of our money. As we prepare to depart from this location and march by that courthouse and stand there at that monument and cry Black Lives Matter with no guns and no weapons, I want you to see something. A statue has received more protection than live bodies. I want you to observe that a statue, not a monument really, a statue, and there's no question about this, a symbol of white supremacy. Is there any question about this? Is there any question about this? Has received more of your public dollars to protect it this entire summer, while innocent people have stood there, not seeking to tear it down, not seeking to push it down, but have stood at its base and have been thrown in jail and engaged in this courthouse and the criminal injustice system for no other reason by decrying white supremacy. You all, we're not going to stand for it too much longer. longer. We're ready for change.
Watch the car. Watch the car.
Justice for the next generation! Justice for the next generation! Justice for the next generation!
Get out the roadway. Get out the roadway.
And when do we
We definitely did. I'm watching. Umbrella touches them again. I'm coming back.
We're moving on to the monument, but we're going to stop right here and yell loud enough for those people in that jailhouse.
Touch them again. I'm coming to get ya.
And we're out here fighting for their
Big
rights.
bad police.
Y'all give it up for the queen of the Alamance Alliance for Justice, Quincelyn Ellison.
Back up, TJ.
So first
Get
of
out
all,
the
thank
street,
you.
Combo.
But can I please ask you guys to give yourselves a round of applause? Y'all know that's what I love, is this community. Everybody showing up for one cause. And that is
Give up on racism.
criminal justice reform today. A lot of our causes are grounded in white supremacy and racism in this county and in this nation. Guys, it's gonna take us all. Appreciate the people that are here today, but I'm gonna call that
Absolutely. I'll be happy to do an interview for you, Tom.
Is that a thing, Tom?
Tom Boney. Tom Boney.
That's a square thing. You got the power of the state on your side. You just run back to whoever's got a gun and you're good to go, don't you know that?
That's called privilege.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's called.
Yep. We know what's using that one. You guys do too. So no one's here to hurt you. You want to know what we're about? We'd be happy to talk to you. Seriously.
You can have an interview with all of us.
I'd be happy to have an interview.
No, okay. No.
You lying. You're not lying. We're happy
You're
to
fine.
talk to you, sir.
You're fine.
I have a definition right here of anti-racism. You can talk
Bye, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye.
Na, na, na.
Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
I didn't know about that. He's getting ready.
Hey, come on. Many of us.
high school teacher and coach.
Y'all have a party. President's leaving. Take their head and burn it. Give y'all an opportunity to come out and show your racist self. Give y'all an opportunity to bring it right back. We're not like racist people. We're not talking about
Biden is racist.
We don't like
They
none
both
of these
racist.
people.
They're both racist.
Oh, I know they are.
I know y'all racist.
I know they are.
He allowed y'all to come out. Goodbye.
Biden and
Y'all love to bring
Harris.
up Biden about shit that don't gotta do with shit. Worry about yourself and your racism. Worry about that.
Trump is not racist? Trump is not racist?
Big Benny Little
I don't think so.
Oh, he's
No.
not? No?
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
He done more for the black community.
Don't tell me what he did for the black
I'll tell you something, he ain't done
How
nothing
would
for me.
you know?
I done for me if I done for
How would
myself.
you know?
He didn't do nothing for me. I ain't getting no stimulus check. I don't want his money. No. So you just get that. I didn't get one either. Your president or nobody else's president ain't doing nothing for me. I work. So I don't get it twisted. I work every day. So I don't need nothing from your president or none of them people. I get out there and bust my tail for what I need. All right, so don't get that twisted, buddy. Trump ain't done nothing for the black community.
How would you even know? You're not a part of it, so don't speak on it. How the fuck you gonna speak about something you don't know about? That's wrong.
Tell you what, they don't deserve your respect, so let them go. They don't. Trump is history, so let them go. They do not deserve your respect.
We sing it on 1031.
That's cool.
We watch how we were peacefully assembled. We have to
why the fuck y'all not with y'all goddamn?
I literally came to hear what y'all had to say.
So use Google. Educate yourself at home.
Bullshit.
Educate yourself at home if you really want to know. If you really care about the issue,
I do educate myself.
No, you
very
don't.
much.
Very much.
Maybe on Carla? Is that where you educate yourself on Carla?
I ain't on social media.
their children here So today, Alamance County, we stand.
Why do you have a knife?
Several leaders.
How you got a knife? But you're at a protest. You may have to
You're in the vicinity of an organized event, therefore you cannot carry weapons. No, you're here.
You guys are over here.
This is a part of the protest. You're here. You have to be on that side of the street. Over there. You're in the vicinity. You have to be over there.
Where's her hat? Where's her? Where's her?
I'm right here.
December 14th.
Y'all ready to move forward?
Yes.
I didn't get to this, but I know there's a few others at our final landing point right there at the monument. We're going to have a song. Some others. We're going to stop here and lift up.
He has a knife. This guy has a knife. This guy right here has a knife. Right here. He's got a knife.
Why you don't get in with the
He's got a knife.
Why you don't get a knife?
He's got a knife. Hey, he's got a knife. Hey, he got a knife.
Why don't you get him?
Arrest him.
Why don't you get him? Now when motherfuckers start handling shit on their own, I want to see now one of y'all bitch ass motherfuckers over here. You should have goddamn got whatever you deserve, crap ass. Do something. Do something, bitch. Do something. You won't. I don't give a fuck about you, the police, or none of that shit. None of that. None of that. I don't give a fuck about none of it. Do something. Do something. You get assaulted. You run and call the police like a bitch rather than handle it like you should. That's what you do. You a bitch. You more a bitch than a bitch.
So the guy with the knife.
Come on, guys.
He had a knife the whole time. Don't return. You haven't done anything.
Bring it across.
Bring it across, guys.
We're getting out of here. Across the street. Won't stand around everybody and talk.
We ready.
Damn sure is. My black power is the best power, baby. That's right.
Black people are fucking magical.
You can't get white from black, but you can't get black from white, but you can get white from black. So baby, it's always more powerful. It's always more powerful darkness than light, bitch. Just know it. That's why your shirt black. That's how good black is, you bitch. What you want?
You so down, buddy.
We ready.
Y'all ready? 'Cause we ready.
Right out there for what y'all, for what y'all, for what we're ready. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yeah. We ready. Boy.
From Washington, D.C. Oh, my let's call this. What's your name? Ford Fischer? Sorry, I thought you were someone else. Oh, no worries.
Black Lives Matter! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
As we stand here, we can hear them beating on the windows. Let's make some noise so that they will know we are out here for them. Come on, let's keep it going.
No justice, no peace.
We are out here for you. No justice.
No peace.
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 No justice. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Y'all come on back on the sidewalks. No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
On the sidewalks, y'all.
Let's take it on the
If you're
sidewalk.
not media, on the sidewalks. Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe. We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Dr. Spearman has corrected me, and I received his correction.
It's the youth group church, man.
Those of us who are out here on this sidewalk, this is what democracy looks like. Those who are in that jail, many of whom may be innocent, that is what hypocrisy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy looks like.
Alamance County Sheriff's Office, we are putting you on notice.
You don't know.
Terry Johnson's got to go.
Terry Johnson's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Terry Johnson's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Terry Johnson's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Terry Johnson's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Terry Johnson's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Terry Johnson's got to go. I want to say to this sheriff, to Lieutenant Sykes who is standing out here, why have you decided to meet and divide our community in a single-sided, closed-door meeting where you invited none of the people that you violated, none of the people that you used chemical agents against, none of the people that you used excessive force against, to hear your remarks? We demand an apology. And all of you sheriff deputies that are standing by, if it was your sons and your daughters, you would want an apology too. If it was your parents, if it was your grandparents, if it was your children, your babies, your elders, you would want an apology too. Don't apologize to our preachers and not apologize to our protesters.
All right.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Let's go to the sidewalk, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go! Ho, ho! Terry Johnson's got to go!
Who he pointing at this? Who he pointing at? Well, fuck you! Fuck you!
You ain't trying to change nothing, man.
Then who he pointing
If
at?
you want to change it, let him be.
Who he pointing at?
Bull Connor over here.
I want my apology. I want my apology. I demand my apology.
They can hear our demand. But we ain't gonna silence our fucking voice. Not for y'all. The fuck wrong with y'all? The fuck you think Get out that damn nigga. What are you doing? They got to replay your
I want my apology.
No, you better get out that damn. They're gonna replay it. Back up, Miss Jones. You gotta back up.
You can't we go. I ain't trying to go.
And if you go,
I will go. Hey, we going with you, but we ain't gonna lie. We ain't gonna stoop there to that level. We ain't stupid there to that level.
Hold on, she has something to say.
don't
Don't do
I still suffer.
But you stay with these white ladies.
Come on.
Go ahead, Mom.
I'm tired. Ain't none of y'all call me. Ain't none been by. You know where I stay. I'm still suffering today. I have to do breathing treatment. I have to. Y'all some sick.
It's all right, Pastor.
Y'all ain't made no statement over politics.
Don't be trying to go out there.
I'm tired.
Don't give a damn.
I suffer every night. Can't sleep. Can't go down the street.
It's all right. You got one. That's right. That's right. All right, come on, Mom. That's right. Come on. We here with you.
Yeah, I got to keep on.
They don't understand that though. We pay y'all fucking
Go on
salary.
this way. You get go on this way.
Y'all work for us.
Let it still working on it.
Hold on, Mama didn't do it.
Y'all gonna take what you do.
Something to say about some stupid stuff. What you gonna do about it? You gonna arrest me? You gonna arrest me? You gonna arrest me for what? For what? For what?
Maurice, hey, let me get to him. I got him. I got him.
Hey, let Quincy get up here.
We're using our voice.
Just be careful right there.
Don't mess like that. Reverend, you need to get them removed on to get out.
Excuse me, sir.
The Reverend doesn't control you.
Racist!
He told me that the other day, man. Control your people. I don't want to hear that. Racist. I don't want to hear that.
Stay focused, y'all.
We're bigger than that. We're bigger than them. Keep marching. Keep going. What is a racist? Keep going. That is not.
Appreciate you, Clip Parker, out here.
Thank you for yours.
They don't want you to talk. They're so oppressed.
Come on, baby. No. Keep your focus.
Are you happy with yourself? Oh, you're not? So you are happy? Where's your camcorder, Byron? Did you leave it in 1996?
No, they live in the city.
I would tell you guys to read my signs, but I don't think y'all can read.
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
That is what hypocrisy looks like!
That is what hypocrisy looks like!
We love you! We see you! We love you!
I can walk. I'm gonna talk my shit right. He gonna talk shit. We can talk shit too. It's what you ain't a protester. You ain't a piece of shit. A bunch of people gotta be shamed. You want to be shamed. Motherfucker. Y'all do shit behind y'all want to come by y'all with these motherfuckers. I'm not gonna come by y'all.
I know that.
No, y'all. The kid wants to be.
Let's keep it moving. No distraction. You're just trying to distract. How dare we use our First Amendment rights? Not like you move like you got for that. Oh, no, wait.
It's good to see you. I hate it's under these circumstances. On this side, this side. I was going to the the other day.
Tell me what happened in that meeting so you won't.
Like this, believe me, I was quoted in the paper.
Nikita, did you want to put the sin in here? Can I put it in there? Yeah, I think so.
Keep going down. All right. So, just to give a little bit of kind of spatial context here, before they were at, just before, like moments ago, they were at a justice center where you could hear banging. People were confined inside, kind of like the jail. Were kind of banging to show support for the protest outside, and people were kind of raising their fists in solidarity with those people. And now they're heading toward the police station.
Y'all keep coming, keep coming. All right, if y'all can stand and face this way, we're gonna be here just for a moment. Just for a moment.
Stay on the sidewalk, guys. Not on the road.
Stay on the sidewalk. Just for a moment. Thank you. Can we get y'all to come on this side? We just want to surround the police station, y'all. Thank you so much. Are y'all tired?
No!
I've been running for justice for a long time. I'm not tired yet. I've been running for justice for a long time. I'm not tired yet. I've been running for justice for a long time. I'm not tired yet. I've been running for justice for a long time. I'm not tired yet. Say, oh no, I'm not tired yet. I said, oh no, I'm not tired yet. I said, oh no, I'm not tired yet. I said, oh no, I'm not tired yet. Listen, we know Chief Cole is in there. When we walked up, we seen him closing the windows. But they know we was coming. They thought we were going to the monument, but we had to stop by here today to let them know we're not tired yet. We had to stop by the ground police department to let them know it's not just Terry Johnson. It's our police department as well that is also targeting minorities. I want you all to stand here with me just for a moment. We'll go to the monument and then we're going home. And we're going home together. And we're going home safe. And we're going home free. But there are so many people that can't do that tonight. And we need to make sure that we send a message to the ground police department that we're ready for change.
That's right.
Chief Cole, we know you just started, but it's time for you to step down already.
That's right. That's right.
You sent a command after our march, after our October 26th letter, where we asked you in writing not to use chemical reagents to seek to control a crowd. And you all know what they did. They did it anyway. Not to use excessive force against peaceful protesters. And you all know what they did. They did it anyway. We're calling for police reform. We're calling for that office so we can find a capable police chief that will take care of the entire community, not just some of our community. What do we want? Change. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Change. And when do we want it? Now. I can't hear you. What do we want? Change. And when do we want it? Now. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. I said Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. No justice. No peace. No racist. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. Police. No racist. Police. Come on. No justice. Police. No racist. Police. Listen, I know we've been out here for 2.5 hours. Stand tall with us. I know the temperature is dropping. Give us 30 more minutes. We're here for change. Let's give everybody a hand for hanging with us this far. We're going to the monument. We're going to stand there for a few minutes. We're going to hear a song. There's 1 or 2 more comments for the community. I want you all to stand with us. And let's make sure that we remain peaceful and focused. All right? It might be time to button up them coats, but I still believe that Black Lives Matter. And I still believe that change is within our reach. Justice for the next generation. 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 Justice for the next generation.
Go as fast as you can without running.
peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. That is what hypocrisy looks like. We need to get back to the song and clap. We love you. No peace. No peace. Police. 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 This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
That is what hypocrisy 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 looks like.
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter.
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 No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No racism!
Police.
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 No justice!
No peace.
No racism!
Police.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No racist!
Police.
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 Say it with me now. No racist!
Police.
No racist!
Police.
No racist!
Police.
Take your baby aspirin.
Matter!
Black lives matter.
Black lives 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 matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No racist!
Police.
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 All right, guys, we're coming into the court square. We're approaching this statue that stands for white supremacy. Say it's coming down. When do we want it down?
Now.
When do we want it down?
Now.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Hey, hey!
Ho ho.
Terry Johnson's got to go! Hey, hey!
Ho ho.
Terry Johnson's got to go!
Ho ho.
Guys, let's walk into this court square, honoring their name. Say his name, Wyatt Outlaw. Say his name. Say his name. Leon Mebane, say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Jaquan Wright, say his name.
Jaquan Wright.
Say his name.
Jaquan Wright.
Say his name.
Jaquan Wright.
Sandra Bland, say her name.
Sandra Bland.
Say her name.
Sandra Bland.
George Floyd, say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Guys, this queen, Breonna Taylor, this queen who was assassinated by police in her home while she was sleeping. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name.
Yeah, I want you guys to take a real close look at that smokestack on the chimney of hatred. Smokestack on the engine of hatred. Smokestack on the engine of hatred. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome.
Shut up. Nobody gives a shit about you. Shut up.
Go right!
If you're a part of this march, let's keep moving.
Boo-hoo! Pussy!
If you're a part of this march, let's keep moving.
You better move it!
Let's keep moving.
Oh, do you think you can? Oh, you're funny. You're funny. You're funny.
I know I can.
I tell you what. Let's compare it. Portfolio sometimes. You think you're such a badass.
Good to see you.
Boy, you ever seen me? Buy somebody. What, you want to own a white man? Is that what you're saying?
What did you just tell me just now? Back in the cotton field? Is that what isn't that what you just said?
You're taking it all out of context. You want to run your mouth.
Well, let's hey, we can go now, man. Let's take it over. Let's take it over. We'll give him the time in the day. Don't worry about this.
Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
I hope you got that plate.
Y'all almost tried to kill Sam too.
Y'all know what fucking
Black lives matter. Your lives don't matter. My lives won't matter till Black lives matter.
All lives don't matter till Black lives matter.
All lives don't matter till Black lives matter.
Nothing interesting here. Sorry?
Let them have that. Let them have the photographers have their day.
Family, I've led you here once again to send a message to our county commissioners here in Graham that we're ready for change.
That's right. Say it.
This statue is not all that we want to see change.
It's a symbol, just a symbol.
But this is a symbol of hatred, bigotry, and bias. Are y'all tired? We're at the end now. That must come down. These statues have come down all around Alamance County.
That's right. All around the state.
All around the state of North Carolina. The people have spoken for these symbols, these monuments of white supremacy to be removed. I believe change is in our reach. I believe change is in our reach. Terry Johnson, we have a recording of you saying that this is nothing but concrete to you. Terry Johnson, why don't you take it down?
Take it down, Terry!
Folks out here have heard Terry Johnson say that this monument doesn't mean anything to him. Terry, why don't you say that in front of ACPAC?
That's right. Amen. Come on.
Y'all must be tired. Come on with it, Justice Crew. Terry, say that in front of ACPAC. Terry, say that in front of the daughters of the Confederates. Terry, say that in front of the proud boys that we know that you know.
Right there. Right there.
Come on, Terry!
Say it in front of, thank you, Reverend Allison. Say it in front of the county commissioners, Terry Johnson. Is the reason why Terry Johnson won't say it is because he's speaking with a split tongue. He's saying one thing, Kanai, he's saying one thing to black organizers and another thing to white organizers. He's standing in front of our preachers and saying one thing and standing in front of our suppressors and saying another thing. It's time to come clean, Terry Johnson.
Come clean. Come clean.
And when we tear it down, we want you to come down too. Black Lives Matter! 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 We stand here in the name of George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say it loud. George Floyd. Say it proud. George Floyd. name of Breonna Taylor, say her name. In the name of Breonna Taylor, say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. We stand here in the name of the trans community because trans lives matter. 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 Trans lives. We stand here in solidarity with the LGBTQIA community. At our last community meeting, much like we do when we say not just black folks, not just white folks, not just brown folks, but green folks and yellow folks and purple folks, I attached other sayings to the LGBTQIA. If I offended that community, I'm standing in the public square offering you a public apology. We stand here in solidarity with the LGBTQIA plus community today. And that will never change with anything that I'm attached with. And yes, I am a preacher. We are standing here in the name of civil rights for people in the Latino community. The life of Vanessa, who was lost this year. We stand here in the name of the Mexican community that has been targeted as well. The Hispanic community here that has been targeted and disparaged as well. Their lives matter to us as well. Let's bring it home. Say his name. Leon is Leon Hope. Mebane. Leon Mebane. Say his name. 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 Leon Mebane. Christian Griggs. Say his name. 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 Christian Griggs. Wyatt Outlaw. Say his name. 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 Wyatt Outlaw. We stand here in solidarity with all of the beloved community. We love that community over there because love always wins. We said it on November 3rd. We're going to say it one more time. I hope that you'll follow my lead. But if you'll look over there and tell our sisters and brothers, we have the audacity to love you too.
Devils.
Love always wins.
Devils.
Love you. As we prepare to bring our movement today to a close, I want to thank you. I know it's late in the year. I know the sun has gone down. There are people, thank you. Appreciate you, boy, Sharon. You say you didn't kill him, but shoot pictures. Let's hear it for Levon. Who else do we need to say thank you to out there? That have been working hard.
Stand on that side.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Melanie mentioned they just turned down that way. Yes, Jamari said people were changed. Thank you. Organizers that keep our feet to the plow, keep our fists raised, and keep us accountable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hey, because of you, sweetheart.
All you do is call for more hate. Now,
Why?
fuck you. You
Why
ain't with
can't
us.
you see that?
See what?
Because they get
We call for hate.
You call
Yes.
No. I didn't say this police. You call more hate.
Get us to understanding.
That's all y'all do.
They don't understand anything.
You don't understand shit.
They're looking for that. They want you to do that. That's how much faster than I can do that. Her anger over
I need to see her teeth. She probably ain't got that. How many teeth you got, bitch? Where your teeth at? All y'all got meth addict teeth.
All lives won't matter till Black Lives Matter.
Your life does not matter. When you walk out the door, you ain't got to worry about the police. But let somebody black walk out the door, they do. You ain't got to do no crime. You ain't even got to do no crime. Let me see how many teeth you got. Open your mouth. Let me see how many teeth you got, bitch. Let me see teeth you got. Goddamn, wear your dental insurance, bitch. I don't commit no crime. Bitch, I got a clean record. And I still got to worry about the police every fucking day, bitch. I ain't got to commit no crime to have to worry about no fucking police, bitch. Yes, they do. When the color of your skin is what it is, that's what you got. White privilege. White privilege. Every last one of y'all. Go get some fucking dental insurance. About black people being on welfare. Where your dental insurance? Where your dental insurance? Where is your dental insurance? Where is it? Exactly. It's more white people on welfare than black.
Some fucking statistics.
It is. It's proven facts, bitch. It's proven facts. Facts. Every day. Every day. Bitch, I wouldn't goddamn touch your shit.
Don't go there.
You ain't nothing but a goddamn meth head. Bring your bitch ass down off them steps.
Don't do that.
Bring your bitch ass down here. Cause you won't see me. Cause I lay your ass on that ground. You won't be able to see shit. You won't be able to see shit. Bring your ass down here. Bring your ass down here. Bring your ass down here. Bring your ass down here.
Please, this nigga's got you. We're not going to tell her.
You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me. You ain't gonna touch no woman. This woman right here. Okay, clear path. Not gonna touch no woman.
You should be facing the white supremacists.
Anybody, everybody. Not gonna touch no woman.
The white supremacists.
Tell him. You're not gonna do it.
You're just minding our business being racist, officer. I have no idea why they're upset, officer.
You won't see me and get somebody else.
Let's go.
I'm not running. I'm not hiding.
Let's just touch his face.
You need to goddamn go pick up the goddamn say you tried it. Say that
It ain't wrong to say that word. Fuck you. How about that,
I cannot hear a damn word. Look at them! Look at them! Sound like a little snitch. Look at them! You gonna start crying?
I had one foot on the damn sidewalk. We're not even allowed on the
Good boy,
damn
Robbie, good boy.
Listen,
Reverend Drumwright is asking everybody to go home. Reverend Drumwright is asking everybody to leave this area so we can just work together.
You heard me! You heard me, bitch! You heard me, bitch! Don't worry about it. Step to me and see what
I don't step to nobody.
Step to me and see I'm in your face. Do something. Do something.
I'm not
Do something.
I'm
I
not
bet you you won't.
So if you're not violent, why you just tell her to do something
to you? I bet you won't.
Why you just tell her?
Exactly. You told me to do something to you, and best believe I can do it.
Come on, family.
I can do it. Best believe it.
No, that's right.
Believe me.
Come on, family. No, just let this shit go.
Come
on, family. Come on, family.
You won't do a motherfucking thing. You won't do a motherfucking thing. That's why you stop a piece on the side. Go get your kids. Go get your kids. Come on, family. Go get your kids, bitch. You're right. Go get your kids.
Melissa, I'm not gonna fuck her up. I don't care. Get over here.
Give me back. Good work, y'all. We keep us safe. We escalate. Good work, y'all.
keep causing more fucking hate. I just ain't care.
I was being.
And I'm not trying to be stupid. But if you hear somebody on the opposing side saying that that's no shit out there, you take pictures of them. I don't get it.
God bless each and every one of y'all. God bless you.
Hey, Jamie, y'all ready?
Alright, we're walking.
Jamie, you good? Are you good?
Who is this?
This is Jamie. She's coming. You headed out?
No, I'm asking if.
Yeah, we're supposed to be meeting at the Drumwright now. Come on, we need to move. We're good.
What's up, Heather?
Hey, let's double check.
Hey, Heather. I know what Heather. I know a nice Italian restaurant right down the street, baby. Oh, no, man. You want to go to it? I buy pizza for us all.
Yeah, we're good.
How you doing?
Yeah, we got it, yeah.
I was just asking you out for a date. What's up, extra rest?
You guys gonna cover this?
Bye, y'all.
You gonna do it later? All right. Let's go, bro.
Nice, Taylor. You still got your raccoon?
Thank you.
Let's go. Take care, Stewart. See you next time.
See you in Pittsburgh, Stewie.
See you later, Stewart.
Mr. Peterson said you can chicken man. Chicken food. Chicken man. Mr. Peterson. Mr. Peterson said you're chicken soup. Is it done so yet? He's going to play the chicken song. And you cut the interview short and he plays the chicken song.
That's what he always does. He's a freaking idiot. He's a damn troublemaker.
Y'all come back and you stay longer.
And look, let him accomplish the damn thing. Let him accomplish nothing.
What? WRAL is a racist protect the citizens of Grand City of Grand.
No, I did not say that. This can be replaced. You just said it. I'm sure his mom and daddy
I said I wouldn't care. I said I wouldn't care. So stop burning property and you won't have to worry about your life.
That makes no fucking sense,
Stop burning property, you won't have to worry about your life.
All of this shit got taken out of context.
Worry about people's lives more than your fucking property.
We're fighting over
Stop burning
you don't
property.
even know what was said.
I don't give a shit about property. I care about people's lives.
Well, I care about people's lives too.
But you can't burn people's stuff down that they've worked their whole damn life for and expect them not to damn retaliate.
Expect it not to affect the economy and not harm families.
I'm sorry.
I don't live off my parents. I never have.
Okay.
That's where you started off, buddy.
Okay.
I did.
Mom and Daddy,
I've been working since I was fucking 14.
I'm really proud of you.
Oh, good. Why don't you go teach them something?
Dude, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do, because you're sitting here talking about you worried about people's lives.
I
You're not
am.
worried about people's fucking business.
No, I'm
right?
fired, you asshole.
That's how you make your fucking money, right?
No, you're
Yeah,
fired.
you make your money from the fucking business, not your life.
They make their money off of us.
No, they make their money when people get out there and fucking work.
Yeah, work for them.
You're worried about them making money off you. Stop spending money.
Because y'all fucking stupid. It don't matter. You play this game over something that ain't got a goddamn thing to do with what the fuck y'all doing.
Bro, calm the
That statue ain't got shit to do with it.
Yes, it does.
That's y'all's fucking problem.
Calm the fuck down, boy.
What you gonna do about it?
Calm the fuck down.
What you gonna do about it, boy?
I'm telling you what the fuck I know.
Calm down.
I'm older than you, boy.
Cool.
I'm older than you. I've been working longer than you.
across the street over earlier.
Okay,
That's y'all fucking property up the street shit. So nobody has a
You better be glad they're here, so they're protecting you. I want you to know that. I want you to know this.
These guys right here,
That's what you do. Yeah, get the fuck out of
my way. 14 goddamn years old. You didn't do it.
Taking baby aspirin.
If they weren't here, I'd whip your ass, big boy.
Okay.
I'll tell you that now. You lucky. You're so lucky. You're so lucky.
But you're hanging out with the people that do it. That's the problem. You're hanging out with people who are
Don't you know if you break the law, somebody breaks the law and you win the war, you go to jail just like the person that broke the law because you work with them. It's the same way running with this gang.
Motherfuckers like them, they don't want to live their life. They want the government to pay for their shit.
It's a gang. I like this little fella. I like him because he
That's
works
what's wrong with them. They want the government to pay for their fucking bills.
My best friend is a black
But
man.
they can't get out here and get a real fucking job.
I love white people to death. That's
what's wrong with this side.
No, I don't. Because they want to tear stuff up that we have worked so hard for. That's not cool. That's not cool no matter what. That's not cool. But you're running with the people that do this stuff. They put, let me tell you something. Are you Antifa? Wait a minute. Let me explain.
Okay, so may I show you something who's coming up here to help me?
Wait. Let me explain something. Our local police and our local people that live around here have walked around with freaking buckets and picked up freaking bricks. Do you know why they picked the bricks up? So that y'all's group won't be slinging them through our businesses. Because these are our businesses. This is where we grew up. These are our places. You know what I'm saying? They were going to chuck bricks
I don't
through
want to
our
lose my
windows
coffee.
today.
God knows
But they
I
didn't
need
get to
that.
do that because we found out they had bricks hidden all over the place. And they picked them up, all the police and everything. It's not no joke. It's serious.
You want to say you're up here getting prejudiced? You're being prejudiced.
And they don't care.
But
They don't care.
You give them the money, what you gonna give them?
You pick a side and you lose that paycheck.
There you go. That's the only thing that matters to me. It don't have a sign.
Freedom, don't you?
It don't have a sign.
You
My
like
paycheck
freedom?
don't have a sign.
Freedom don't.
They wouldn't be down here doing it because they're not going to spend their own money to do it. None of these people. You're going to be tired tomorrow morning.
All right. So at this point, people have pretty much cleared out. There's like maybe a dozen people left, kind of arguing, but the actual march moved on. So I'm going to cut the live stream here, and they're basically marching back to the parking lot where they started, which is where the car I rented is. So that's where I have to go as well. I will certainly film more if anything else happens, but otherwise I'll have HD footage of the whole situation out later tonight. Thanks for watching.